Hello everyone and welcome in DevSpresso JavaScript News. This is JS News episode 6 this week. Olek's with me. Hey Olek.
Hey JJ.
All right, and what do we got this week? I see that there's TypeScript 5.1. I see Parcel updated to version 2.9. And what more? Maybe you
JS macros in Bun, for example, I've got. W3C recommendations for Web Share API and Vuetify.
Nice. Okay. It seems to be all interesting. Then let's roll the intro.
DevSpresso.
Okay.
Right, so yeah.
JS macros in Bun. Let's go. In episode 4, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about Bun's new bundler. Łukasz was saying a couple of words.
About bundler.
Bundler, exactly. And today, update on Bun in general and JS macros. And they are a mechanism for running JavaScript function at the bundle time. And the value from that function are directly inlined into your bundle. The whole construction of import attributes are a stage-free ECMAScript proposal, which means it will soon be added to JS.
Yeah, this way or another, but this feature will be implemented. Yes,
it's
definitely.
coming. It's coming. And Bun already has it. There are some cases about which you need to think during the use of that. But if you are using a lot of bundle time functions, methods, and functions, and you are doing some stuff, you have opportunity to just use an import statement annotation with type macro as an import attribute, and it will be transpiled during the bundle time construction, not on the runtime. So such a new thing.
Yeah, from what I read, it's Bun's JavaScript runtime will convert it into a value and just run it during a build time. That's interesting thing. Like, first things first, stage-free ECMAScript proposal, like this import statements, this is important. It all started with importing plain JSON. It's a possibility option to describe a little bit more about your import. So they are using this mechanism to use this and execute this function during the build time to change it into a value.
For the CLI, yes.
Okay. So for example, calls to some, I don't know, unsecured data that you don't want to leak anywhere. It will be.
They are in general as they are saying, it is created. Macros can safely perform privilege operations like reading from a database.
Okay. Those were the words that I was looking for, actually.
So here you have it. Of course, the transpiler will also await and promise return for macros. There are rules how they are called during the build, but all of that, I think everyone who will be using or want to use it should read in their free time.
Right. Yeah, cool. Bun is still changing from every week. That's cool.
Still going faster and getting
faster,
better and better.
Stronger.
Maybe better, getting better every week.
All right. So as I've already said, TypeScript 5.1 was released, and it's like these updates are always very precise, and the first thing that you need to focus on are the headers of every section. I will go through this update, because I've already spent some time and I figured out what it is that they are speaking about in another paragraph. So first thing, easier implicit returns for undefined returning functions. And as I said, this is first sentence, and this is a sentence that I need to think twice. So the problem was that only the functions that were returning any or void could have undefined specified as a return value. This could be returned value only then. And this might be a little bit of a problem because in JavaScript, when function does not return anything, it actually does. It does return undefined. So they made it simpler, and right now TypeScript will understand that if you're not returning any or void from your function, it doesn't mean that undefined will not be returned from that function.
Nice.
Oof. Yeah, and it was first point only from around 8 to 10 more. So let's go with it. Unrelated types for getters and setters. Heavy duty material, not gonna get into that. Oh, but this was cool. Decoupled type checking between JSX elements and JSX tag types. Okay, so the problem was sorry. So the problem was again with TypeScript, but in JSX could return, for example, string or a number. And although it's it's well-defined function, and it could be a JSX, it's not necessarily a JSX element when it comes to defining components while using functions. It will work if you'll be using classes, but it will not work when you're using functions. And the reason is simple. TypeScript always checks JSX.element for all the info that it's looking for when it's reading some element. And right now they've changed that because the problems are that it might be okay for some functions to return string or number when you're creating, for example, library that is using JSX and you're creating system for that. So it might be useful to be able to create JSX elements, tags actually, not elements, tags, using this value to define your TypeScript component type functionality or whatever it does, because it could be even a promise right now. And they've changed that in TypeScript by allowing to check more than JSX element. So not only element and element class would be checked, but also intrinsic attributes will be checked for definition of types. And
Okay,
that's really great.
In essence, we will do less gymnastics. We will do less gymnastics when typing some elements.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
That's a good news.
All right. Yes. So that's it. Actually, there are more things connected to JSX. There are snippet completions for at param in JS docs tags. It will be always good to have good documentation. And the last thing, ECMAScript 2020 and Node 14.17 can be used to run this version of TypeScript, which is 5.1. And these last two changes, ECMAScript 2020 and Node 14.17, are the breaking changes. Okay, and I'll stop myself here because, like, every day when you're reading a TypeScript blog posts, like, you can find more and more and more, and every day you will find more. It's a never-ending story. So moving to another topic for today.
Unfortunately, it's not yours, Parcel.
Yeah, that's right. All right, but this won't be big. Parcel version 2.9 is out. So first thing important is V2 plugins have been required till the version V2. The plugins were required to be packages. In Parcel 2.9, plugins can be just referenced as a relative path from Parcel RC config, so they could be literally anywhere in the world as long as it's on some computer. Second thing, they've switched the default minifier from Tensor to SWC. Is the speed was something that like made you move from the Parcel? Then they got faster again, 7 times faster because of this switch. And the last thing is that Parcel now supports plugins and config files written as native ECMAScript modules, in addition to the existing support for CommonJS. Okay. And this will be all from my side, and this isn't very exciting news about this Parcel, but I must say that always the speed is something that's important at one point or the other, right? It's like you're always working with some pipelines somewhere, and your project is getting big, or you need to work with old project, and you're looking how to switch your builder. So when some builders say that they are getting faster, it's like, for me it's okay. That's worth noting.
I would say faster, okay, of course, always pleasure. More important that native and common JS existing modules may be used, right? Another option. And this is a change. And it helps us. Okay.
True.
I've got W3C recommendations. One is
Okay.
for Web Share API, and second is nearby, near our subject, EPUB type, which became a W3C recommendation. It's typical for ebooks, as we know, and it's a part. It will from today. Today from the publication. It's a part of a digital publishing activity, and in EPUB, what got me curious in this area. Format provides a means of representing, packaging, and encoding structure and semantical enchanted web content, including HTML, CSS, SVG, and other resources. So, in general, we will have more options to convert to EPUB, and maybe we will further on use it more often on our sites in general.
Yeah. Oh, I messed up with my water. Shouldn't be a big problem. But the abstract of this specification states that they are defining APIs for sharing text links and other content to any arbitrary destination of user's choice, and they are not specifying anything about the destination. So this is just a specification of the
second
API, how to
thing.
communicate. Yeah.
Second thing, Web Share API as a W3C recommendation. And yes, they published it as a Web Share API as a recommendation, and it specifies general rules. The conclusion from this small information from them is that in general, it may be later on used, for example, apps, websites, and contracts. It will be defined by the user. So they are heading to general standards in this area.
All right.
So that's cool in Share API. In EPUB, I would add also that there were a couple of changes in accessibility. And what's the most important from my perspective, the EPUB accessibility specification is compatible with the European Accessibility Act. So those things are going hand in hand, and it will probably evolve further on, maybe because the whole market for, I don't know, tools and systems which allow you to create and use EPUB will have more connection with the web, and we will need to adapt to that.
Yep, looks like it. Looks like it. That's cool. That's cool. I really like the fact that accessibility is already in version 1.1, and EPUB is on 3.3.
Yes.
So there is not a big difference between those documents. Of course, EPUB 3 is third version of the document, but it means that the work on accessibility started. That's cool. That's great. All right, moving to another quick short news. It's about Brave, exactly about Brave Search API. So Brave has launched the Brave Search API, and it just gives us, the developers and companies, access to, privacy preserving search index, and it's just a competition to Google and Microsoft Bing. And I just wanted to talk about it because of that reason. Because it's good in this market when we see that somebody is trying to create something and provide it to the market as an alternative to funk companies. So Brave hits some, Brave is a third faster growing search engine, and they've grown to 8 billion annualized queries from what they said. And I know this news isn't big, but if you got something, some application, maybe there is a reason for you to check that out. If you're using Google or Bing, that are two companies that already allow to use their search engines. But that will be all.
Yeah, another search engine to maybe add it. Okay. One couple of words about Vuetify 3.3.2. And this release is mainly changes. 3.3 was released not long ago, and as it happens sometimes, we have bug fixes. So that's why we are already on .2 version. And app bar, input, list item, menu, navigation drawer were fixed. And in labs, there is also a couple of changes in data tables. So if you are using Vuetify, maybe it's worth to be updated to the newest version.
Sounds nice. So what? Many components updated. Many I see VUp, bar, VInput, everything. Like so, they run through this.
Not everything, but a couple of things was fixed in this release.
All right. So when we are talking about Vuetify, then I have small update about Bootstrap. Bootstrap 5.3 was released, and I'm not gonna talk long about it. It's like this week is like Olek is not gonna be talking along, okay. But this update in Bootstrap is mostly focused on colors, and I must say that there are colors updates, palettes updates, dark mode support updates, custom color modes updates, extended color palette updates, and much more. So all about colors, and they focused on dark mode. They focused on using color mode. It's a new mixin exactly for using those modes, because you can define much more than dark and light right now. Earlier I remember there were some workarounds around those problems in Bootstrap, but I think that they are trying to resolve them. Well, all in all, they are still very big player on the market of all the UI frameworks, right? So I keep my things crossed that this was a good job. Didn't have opportunity to check that yet. I'm still on my Ant design projects, but I would happily check that if somebody would like to give me some repo to work on with that. All right, so that will be all from my side for this week.
I haven't got nothing more, so sorry. That's all what I found.
All right, okay, seems a pretty good week. So from my side, nothing. Did we do everything that we wanted to do?
I'm afraid that yes.
All right, then thank you very much for coming to today's show, Olek.
Thank you, JJ. As always, pleasure.
All right, and this will be all from our side. Thank you everybody for listening to us, and let's roll the outro. Hey, thanks for staying till the end. This is obviously outro message with all the links and information that could help you to support us or just contact us. And we greatly appreciate both. This channel is not supported by any big company or organization, so any donation is really gonna make a big difference and will allow us to expand and provide more content like that for you. You can contact us on social media like TikTok or Instagram for now. Also, we have special email address if you'd like to reach out to us or just give us feedback. We really appreciate that, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. And if you really think that we've earned it, you can buy us a coffee. Link is here. So thank you again. All the links are down in the description, and see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe.